How do you know you're buying a good house? Who is going to check the house for you before you purchase it? When is it going to happen? And how much is it going to cost? I'm going to answer all these questions in this video. If you're a buyer in New Jersey right now, better listen up. Hi guys, this is Dagmara Kubisiak with Keller Williams, New Jersey. Question number 25 is about inspections. So you make an offer, it gets accepted, you finish attorney review, you agree with the seller on certain terms of the agreement, and then you go under contract. Once you go under contract, you have between 10 to 14 days to do all of your inspections. So if you're a buyer, I suggest you talk to your agent and ask for recommendations. They should know a bunch of good inspectors that they work with all the time. Or you might have somebody you know who is a good inspector, so you can invite them over. So first, your agent is going to coordinate the inspection with the seller's agent, so it's convenient for everyone. Usually, the buyer's agent, and the inspector are present at the inspection site. Sometimes an eager seller might want to be present at the inspection, but it's not standard in New Jersey, and I really don't recommend it. The home inspector who comes is usually a general home inspector who does those kind of inspections for a living. Your inspector is going to probably start either from the attic or from the basement. Every inspector has a different way of doing things, but they usually start from up or below. They are basically looking for structural defects in the attic area. Same with the basement. They are always looking for leaks anywhere and also for structural issues. On top of that, the general inspector, probably upon your request, will do the termite or carpenter ants inspection, radon inspection, which is extra money, and they will check if the drains, all the drains in the house are draining properly. And if they see that, let's say, the kitchen sink is not draining properly, it's clogging up, then when they write the report, they will say, you have to contact a professional licensed plumber to evaluate this defect further. If, let's say, they found a visible stain of mold in the attic, again, they will put it in the general report with a suggestion that you should seek an advice of a professional mold expert. The general inspector will also check all the outlets, electrical outlets, the GFCIs, if they are where they are supposed to be. They will check the water pressure. Usually your inspector will turn on water in all the faucets, bathtubs, any kind of sinks that are in the house to see if there are not any clogs in the drain system. They will check the furnace. They will check the HVAC system. Usually they will run the HVAC system. If it's, let's say, if it's fall or summer or spring, the HVAC system will be turned on. The only situation when they will not turn the HVAC system on is, of course, in the winter time, because if they do it, it might break. The general inspector will not check the well system. They will not check the septic system because they do not specialize in septic systems. So your general inspector will give you an idea on what's working in the house, what's not working. They will prepare the report, and if they find something that's out of their expertise area, they will tell you in the report to seek a professional help in that direction. But remember, you have between 10 to 14 days to do all the inspections. Let's say they find a problem with a wall, one of the walls in the basement. Let's say it's bulging a little bit, just like it happened to me a few months ago with one of my clients. So the recommendation was to hire a professional engineer to evaluate this thing in more details, and that's what we did. But please bear in mind, it's going to cost more money to invite another inspector on top of that original inspector. If they recommend to ask the plumber to come in, it's going to be extra money to do the plumbing inspection. Electrical inspection in more details is going to require of you to hire a professional licensed electrician to check the electrical system. So the money might add up. Let's imagine the situation where electrical, plumbing system look good, there is no structural defects that are visible to the eye, and you just don't want to do any other inspections, then that would be it in this case. However, when you have a well and when you have a septic on the property, I strongly recommend to do separate septic and well inspections. Again, it's an extra cost, but it's gonna give you peace of mind in the end, because when you check it and see that everything is working properly, then you just buy the house and you don't anticipate any problems later. In case of the well, in New Jersey, it's the responsibility of the seller to do a quality test of water, which is quite expensive because they need it for their inspection, CO inspection from the town. So if you want to check the mechanics of the well pump, you can do it. You can hire the inspector to do it. Most people opt out, they don't do it because they're only interested in the quality of water. However, in case of the septic system, I strongly recommend to do it every single time. Who pays for the inspections? Of course, you as a buyer are responsible for that payment, and actually this is one of not many out-of-pocket expenses that you have to pay before you purchase the house. Because you have down payment, you have closing costs, which include the attorney fees, title company fees, appraisal fee. However, inspections are on you, and typically you pay the inspector after the inspection is done. Sometimes some inspectors require a deposit of the portion of the money that they charge for the whole inspection in advance, but usually you pay them at the end of the inspection on site. Every inspector who comes to the property to check it out is going to provide you with an official report. That report gets sent to you, and upon your request also to your agent, and then you discuss it with your agent and come up with a plan if you are going to ask for credits for certain defects or repairs from the seller. And once you establish that, you send the list to the attorney. You can also talk about it with your attorney. It depends on the dynamic in this trio, I call it: attorney, agent, buyer. I personally always go through every single report with my clients. We go through the report paragraph by paragraph, and we make a list of the things that we want the seller to repair or give him credits for. And then you start post-inspection negotiations. Sometimes the seller will say, I'm not gonna give you any credits, I'm not going to repair anything. You either buy this house as is, or the deal is canceled. You can agree to that or not. Sometimes the seller will say, I'm going to give you some credit for some of the things, or a certain amount of money to cover all the things. Or they will simply say, we're going to repair it, we're going to fix everything. It's just a matter of negotiating and agreeing on these terms. So the inspection period might seem like a very complicated thing, but actually it isn't. Please remember, you always have your agent and your attorney to help you go through this inspection contingency period. It's one of the most important steps in the whole transaction because a lot depends on the results of the inspection. When you are in doubt, always ask your agent for help, your attorney for help, reach out to them. And remember, the real estate transaction in New Jersey, it's a long and complicated process. We have to go through those stages. Like, we start with attorney review, we go under contract, we do inspections, we do appraisal, and then mortgage commitment, and then we're going to the closing table. Anyway, if you have any more questions, you need to find out about anything, please feel free to reach out to me. Follow, like, and comment. And thank you for watching.